Time in YouTube, and welcome back to Deck Profiles. Today we are going to be looking over a second post-rotation deck, this time featuring Marshadow-GX. Now Marshadow-GX is the squishy fighting type with only 150 HP. He's got the Shadow Hunt ability that makes him pretty versatile. This actually is a fantastic ability to make up a few different decks to see what you want to do with him. So pretty much what Shadow Hunt does is this Pokemon can use the attacks of any basic Pokemon in your discard pile. This means as long as we have a Pokemon in the discard pile that is a basic, we can use any of their attacks, including GX attacks, at our disposal. Now you obviously can only use one GX attack per turn, so I don't think you can get around that. Anyway, his actual attack is Beat Down. For 2 fighting, 1 colorless, you're going to do 120 damage. It's not that great. That's why you're going to probably be benefiting from Shadow Hunt a lot more, because there are a lot of attacks that you can use. But finishing off with Marshadow, of course, is his GX attack. Now this attack is actually going to be very, very good in the way we're using this deck today. Peerless 100 Blows GX will do 50 times the amount of energy attached to Marshadow. And it only costs you 1 fighting energy to use. Now, obviously, if you've got more energy on him, the more damage you're gonna do. Now, let's just pair this up with what we can do here. We're gonna be partnering it up with Keyway to set it up quickly. Keyway is a brand new supporter. It lets you search your deck for up to 4 fire energy and attach them to one of your Pokemon. The problem is you do lose your turn at the end of this card. This lets Marshadow have an equivalent of 5 energy when using this attack, because you need at least 1 fighting energy and then the 4 fire. This means that Peerless 100 Blows will do 250 damage to a Pokemon. This will knock out pretty much every single thing in the game. I'm pretty sure it knocks out every single thing in the game. So you've got that nice counter to whatever you have going on. To partner this up though, we're going to need those fire energies for something, and we're going to actually use Ho-Oh-GX. Now this Pokemon is semi-interesting for the simple fact that he's got 2 decent attacks. You've got Sacred Fire, which is going to cost you 1 fire, 2 colorless. I know, these attacks are expensive. Which will do 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, so you get a little bit of snipe action if you want. And then you have Phoenix Burn for 3 fire, 1 colorless. You've got 180 damage. There you go. That's so much better than Beatdown. You can hit 180 damage to whatever you want. However, this Pokemon cannot use Phoenix Fire during your next turn. That's fine. We're not going to be worrying about the GX attack because we will not be using it. Ho is the only fire type we have in the deck, and we don't want to put it on the bench. Now we've got 2 other potential users here. Bapeachu is another fine example of a Pokemon that we can use. It uses colorless energy, and it's actually got some pretty good attacks. It's got Righteous Edge. So for one energy, we can discard a special energy from our opponent's active Pokemon and do 20 damage. Pretty nice. And then you've got Berserk. For 3 colorless energy, you're going to do 80 damage, and if your opponent, any of your bench, are damaged, you'll do another 70. So pretty nice there. And then we're also using the Necrozma GX, also brand new in Burning Shadows. Has the Light's End ability. Not going to be using it because this guy's just going to hit the discard pile. Has that Prismatic Burst. Does 10. We'll have 3 colorless. Discard all psychic energies. We're not using psychic, so this attack isn't really what we're here for. It is the Black Ray GX. So if we don't need Peerless Blows, we can use this, and what it'll do is it'll snipe all of the GX Pokemon and EX Pokemon on our opponent's side, doing 100 damage to each of them, which is a lot of damage overall. Obviously, we're going to be using the Tapu Lele GX to help keep our cards going nice and smooth. Trying to get that Keyway turn 1. This is actually one of the few decks that you don't need to run Bridget, because Marshadow is really the only thing you want on the bench. And of course, this guy here, Octillery, he's here to help us keep a good hand size, especially in late game when your opponent will be trying to take out your Marshadow as quickly as possible. You don't want to get ended into something kind of negative. So this way, Octillery will be able to keep your hand going nicely. Now we've got some removal. We got 2 Field Blower, which will let us remove items and stadiums from our opponent's advantage. We've got a couple Nest Balls to help us get those Marshadows out. We've got Super Rod, which way we can get some of our Pokemon and energy back. We're running Ultra Ball because, well, we still gotta get ways to discarding those Pokemon into the discard pile. Ultra Ball is the best way to do it. We are running a couple Brooklet Hill here. This will get us either our Remoraids or our Marshadow. Next up is the Gasma, who's going to be a very important card in post-rotation. You get to switch one of your opponent's benched Pokemon with their active, and then you switch your active with one of your benched. This can easily get you out of like a fellow Gasma your opponent played, or get you out of a tight situation into a brand new attacker, all those kind of things. We've already looked over Keyway. We've got ourselves some N. Again, N and Sycamore are going to be very, like, they're going to be 4 and 4s pretty much in every deck now. Since post-rotation will have Novia Seeker, you need those draw supports. Now here's another card that we are going to be using. I'm going to be using Plumeria for other discard reasons. You can use Sophocles to give you draw support, but I thought Plumeria might be a better card because, unfortunately, with Marshadow, with his low HP cost, we do want a little bit of disruption, hence why the 2 Field Blower. So this way we can kind of cause a little bit more panic to our opponent's hand. The great thing over Plumeria over Team Flare-Grunt is Plumeria can hit any Pokemon on the bench as well for their energy and not just the active. Next up is the Pokemon Fan Club. This card will let us get 2 basics from our deck and we can put them into our hand. What's better about this over Bridget is we're really not needing the Marshadows from this. We have a lot of ways of getting them out already. So this is primarily a way to get your Tapu Lele if you didn't get a turn 1 or you didn't get an Ultra Ball or anything of the sort. So this is a way to get it. Now lastly, we have 3 tools of choice depending on situation. Obviously, we're going to be using Choice Band to get the most damage out of our Marshadow as possible. We have Float Stones in case of Tapu Leles or Octilleries hitting the active position where we don't want them. But I'm using a couple Wishful Baton. Now, you don't need to use this. If you want to go for Choice Band, you're more than welcome to. But I find with Marshadow's very fragile HP, he goes down really quickly. Now, obviously our opponent can Field Blower, but that's the same choice with a Choice Band or Float Stone. So Wishful Baton here, if our Marshadow gets knocked out, we can move 3 of those energies onto a fellow Marshadow and kind of keep our train going a little bit. Now, of course, our energy cost is going to be 2 fighting and 12 fire. This way we have enough energy in case something does go wrong. We'll be able to get those back, get opportunities to try and set up again, because there's always a possibility of getting that second Keyway and getting ourselves rolling again. But that is the deck. Let me know in the comment section below what kind of things you're building Marshadow with. I know a lot of people are doing some expanded tricks, and I do have an expanded deck with Marshadow coming as well in the next little while, so expect that as well. But let me know what other partners you've used with Marshadow, what kind of tricks and tips you're going to be using for yourself. And otherwise, let's get into some TCG and see if this deck will work as well as we hope. Alright guys, game number 1 is against Mesmerize, playing what looks to be a fairy deck, so probably Guard. Gardevoir is definitely popular right now. We are going to win this coin toss, so we'd like to go first. Let's see if we can get a good opening hand. We don't even get a starter type, so we're just going to throw that right back in. And so does our opponent, actually. We took 1 mulligan, and we get... oh. This is bad. We start with our Remoraid. This is bad. They are playing Rolls, which is fine. I'm actually going to go for a turn 1 setup here. I'm going to have to ditch the Ho-Oh. And the Wishful Baton. I don't want to get rid of that, but I have to. Now, I just need to go into a Marshadow. I'm going to pick up the Hyper Rare one because it's pretty. Drop it down. Drop the energy down. I'm going to hold on to the Float Stone in case, just in case. And we will Keyway. Now, this deck, it gets countered pretty easily against Gardevoir. because Guardy does damage based on our Pokemon's energy as well, and we got 5 energy down. That's a lot of energy on a 1 Pokemon. I actually could have put that energy onto the Remoraid and had that opportunity to retreat in case the Float Stone didn't happen, but you know what? I made a mistake. I just didn't want to get first turn Field Blower. My opponent is not going to mess around with her hand at all. They just play the Bridget, which is beautiful. So we'll be able to retreat. Goes for Coco, Ralts, and a Remoraid. Has different Raltses, actually. Question is do they have any energy? Because that is the big ticket here. We're going to see another level ball. This will probably get them another Ralts. Try and get as many down as possible. No, goes for that Octillery. Unfortunately, I do not have a way to get rid of this. I do not have an N on me. We are going to see that double colorless energy come out onto the Tapu Koko. I'm going to get a Drampa. Drampa is going to hit the discard pile. 100%. And we're going to retreat out of here. Bam. Now we're just going to go for Sycamore. Now I've got Plumeria, which is awesome. And right now I'm the only one with an item, so Field Blower is not going to do any good. We are going to go with... Hold on. We just go for Berserk, knock out the first Ralts, is the best play. I think it's the best play. Now we can get rid of the energy, that's not a big problem at all. In comes that Tapu Koko, he will be going for that Flying Flip, which will do 20 damage to everybody. Down comes the Choice Band, it'll do 50 damage to my main one. We need to be able to snipe out that good old Kirlia before it gets a chance to set up. Might be a little late for that though. I do have the Field Blower. I can get rid of that Choice Band, and I can get rid of the energy. Not a big deal. My opponent is going for the Guardy now. Or going for Ralts. Or Tapu Lele. There's a lot of options here. Goes for that Tapu Lele GX. And we'll drop it, so we'll be seeing another supporter come through. If it's an N, that's a bit of a problem, because we are set up to have some good counter to this deck. It is going to be an N. Alright, so this is a bit of a problem. Down comes the N. And let's see here. Okay, so we got a few things. Double colorless energy down onto that Kirlia. And it's just going to hit us all for 20. I am going to remove this Float Stone. Or, sorry, not this Float Stone, this Choice Band. And I'm actually going to opt to go for the Plumeria. Because I want to I can get rid of this Tapu Koko right now, which is not a big deal. And I want to get rid of that energy that's on that... whatchamacallit. I think I can opt to get rid of the Float Stone. I can get rid of the Fire Energy. And we are going to get rid of this energy. So we need to do 110 damage. And we're just going to go for Phoenix Burn to do it. So we're currently hitting decent. Like, we're getting a lot of knockouts. Got Fire Energy. So we got that Fire Energy back. We can, he's going to go into Gardevoir, though. This is a problem. Because I'm going to lose my Marshadow and all my potential will be gone. Whew. I don't like these decks. Gardevoir being able to go off of one energy. Oh, goes for the Gallade. Special Charge will hurt. They'll get those energies back. And if they've got a double colorless in hand, they don't yet. But Premonition will help them try and redraw that. So if they manage to get that, they will be able to knock me out. 100%. 100% knock me out. And then I'll be down to kind of nothing. I don't know why it hits my character. Alright, so we're going to see Karen. We have... Oh no. That's actually a huge counter for us. Abyssal Hand will go off. This is actually really bad, because I have no way of attacking now. Why would you Premonition and then Karen? Unless you weren't planning to use the Karen. I got cat hair. All on my tongue. Alright, that's the best play we could get. We get the Ho-Oh back into the discard pile. Get you back into that discard pile. We do not want you. And I'm actually just going to go for Artillery. I think it's my best play. I don't need too much. And I could actually get a supporter off this Artillery drop and not have to use Tapu Lele right now. So we're just going to drop this Floatstone here. I can get 2 prizes off of this Tapu Lele, but I think the bigger threat, like if I can get a Gasma right now, I'll get that Gallade. I do not get the Gasma. No Gasma. No Gasma for me. So we're just going to drop you down here. And we're going to have to hit. We're going to snipe out this Gallade. Because I just used Phoenix Fire. Can't use it 2 turns in a row. Else I could have taken out the Tapu Lele. But, as you can see, we are putting a ton of pressure on our opponent. Our opponent is using Via Seeker. That is a big thing. If they go for the Karen, I'm in trouble. Because that is our only real win condition here, is keeping our Pokemon in the discard pile. I did not see what they drew. I think they got N, but I could be wrong. No, it's going to be Mallow. So they're going to redraw what they have. This is great with Octillery because you can actually get the cards you want. So they are definitely going to go for a double colorless energy drop and maybe a Floatstone. Those are the 2 things I'm expecting. They've already supported, so the best thing that they can do... Actually, that's a really good combo. So there's the Floatstone on the Tapu Lele, and in comes the Premonition. No double colorless? Come on, you had to have pulled a double colorless. You're going to knock out my Marshadow here. Right? Right? Here it comes into the position. Double colorless energy, I called it. And out comes the Sensitive Blade. 130 damage to my Marshadow. Sad to say he does go down. I did not get a Wishful Baton onto him, so that is a downer. No Wishful Baton for me. We might be in a bit of a problem. But we can go for the Righteous... No, I can't. I don't have Drampa in the discard anymore. And I have no way to get him in the discard pile. We're just going to go for this. I need to end. Whoops. We're both going to drop down to 4 cards. I can get rid of the Field Blowers. But I can't do any damage. Right? Yeah, I've got no attacks. This is a problem. I am going to Field Blower out the 2 Floatstones here. So they can't just keep reversing. I can go for this, get some more Pokemon down, so I don't redraw them. But sadly, I think I'm done here. I should have gone into my Marshadow with Floatstone. Because I think that was my big misplay here. But my opponent is not playing Guard. My opponent is playing Octillery Gallade, which is really interesting. This deck here was had a lot of power in the days before, and now it's even stronger. With the Karen Disruption, it hit me pretty hard. Not going to deny that. This actually will knock me out. Yeah, I think it knocks me out with the Kukui push. Hits me for 130, sorry, 150 exactly. Oh man, we are unfortunately getting our butt kicked. I'll go into the right one this time. But I think, yeah, no, we've lost this, guys. We have lost this one, but to good cause. My opponent played, ooh, maybe we haven't. It's a little late for Wish of Baton. We're not out of this. If my opponent doesn't have another way to get double colorless energy, we might be okay. Okay. I wouldn't say amazing. And I literally am just going to rotate into our Marshadow here. I'm going to go for that Righteous Edge. We do 20, get rid of that energy. Good enough for me. Whew! Rare candy up. We're gonna see another Gallade. It is the Gallade. So this is Gallade Octillery, but upgraded by a lot. And I like it. I really do. Mallow is such a powerful supporter in this deck. Oh man. I'm actually gonna have to say GG to my opponent. As much as I usually don't put up a loss turn 1 in a deck profile, this deck was absolutely incredible, and I might be using it myself. That is awesome. My opponent has got the opportunity to come back with synergy, has the ability to set up real quick. Maybe a Lowland Vulpix would be a better opportunity. It does Field Blower to get rid of both of my supporters, or like a lot of my items here. Doesn't really matter because she should be able to take me out here anyway. Oh, she doesn't have Kukui. But I might actually have to go for the Fearless Blows here and knock out this Gallade, which isn't gonna be terrible, but we're in so much trouble. We're in so much trouble. We're in a lot of trouble. Here comes that double colorless energy. We're gonna get hit for 130, which means we will just survive. Can drop the fighting energy down. I can't see us winning this, guys. We can use double Peerless Hunter Blows because we have Marshadow in the discard pile. We hit for 100 damage. He's got 70 on him. Let's do it. Let's knock him out. There he goes. One less to deal with. We got our fire energy. He's just gonna... My expectations is they'll bring up the Gallade, go for another double colorless energy drop, and that will be the game. I can't see us surviving this. And even then, a double colorless energy drop onto that Tapu Koko will be able to knock us out as well. So, good game to my opponent. This deck is definitely something that I gotta look into, because it is awesome! Oh man, the new Ralts lines have gotten so strong. Now again, this is pre-rotation. So they can still use things like VS Seeker and all that kind of stuff. It'll be interesting to see how it works outside of rotation, like once post-rotation hits. Will Gallade still be a big threat? I think so. Stage 2s are really, really something right now. Here comes that double colorless energy, and bam! Down goes Marshadow. As you can see, if we don't take early games, we actually get destroyed. So that is the big downside to Marshadow. He doesn't got that HP stat. So if you wanted another opportunity for a item, you can use Fighting Fury Belt to boost him up to 190. That might be something that I might consider when replaying this deck. But so far, he's got a little bit of power behind him, but he does get destroyed late game. So let's see if we can handle game number 2 and potentially get a better win. Alright guys, match number 2 is against Jaffa GM. I don't know what they're playing. It could be... I want to say it's Volcanion, but I could be wrong. We're going to win this coin toss, so we are going to get an opportunity to play first again, which means Kiwi is here. And we actually got ways of potentially getting that. I like it. We can Sycamore out the Necrozma. We got the Marshadow, which is exactly what we want. We do not want to play that Necrozma at all. He just needs to go onto the discard pile and say, oh man. Tapu Lele is actually the worst lead for a Marshadow deck. It's actually one of the worst leads possible. Because if I want a Keyway turn 1, they have that ability to actually come at me. So I'm going to hold off giving him that 5th energy. 20, 40, 60, 80. Yeah, he would need a Choice Band to knock me out. So let's Keyway, get these energies up. Throw them down onto you. And that's it. Alright. Now, I do have Sycamore in hand. I do plan to use it this turn. This will get me both of these into the discard pile, which is absolutely beautiful. It'll give me opportunities to attack. I can actually knock out Tapu Lele. Actually just puts a Floatstone down on Tapu Lele. I'm alright with that. I'm okie dokie with that. But we've actually got 5 energies down. Like I said, it can go. This deck burns real fast. But if you slow down, you're done. Oh no, we're getting end. Why is it every turn 1 we get end? I had no way to get rid of this Pokemon though, so it's alright. I need an Ultra Ball. There's an Ultra Ball. Not that one. I don't need my opponent's Ultra Ball. Because then I can grab them and then discard them. But I might go for the Drampa instead. My opponent also is playing Ho-Oh-GX! That's actually insane. Down goes the full art Ho-Oh. That card is beautiful. With Max Elixir, attempting to get that energy onto Ho-Oh. Great play. Choice Band onto that Ho-Oh. We're going to get a Brooklet Hill. So we are going to utilize the Remoraid. Get that. Turn 1. We're going to drop this down. We can drop Choice Band onto this one. I really do want to get that. We're going to get rid of your Floatstone and your thing here. So those are gone. I'm actually just going to Sycamore. Because I don't, if my opponent does not have a supporter in hand, I don't want to help them out. And I actually got the Peerless Under Blows to go off here, which is absolutely great. I still can't get anything in the discard pile, but I can at least knock out this Tapu Lele. Big threat off the field, and I just need to get one of the big powerhouses into the discard pile. I got Ho in my hand now, so I just need to be able to get rid of it. My opponent does need 2 more energy drops, does play a second Ho-Oh, and Keyways. Now you will want to Keyway the back one, my friend. You will want to Keyway the back one. He's got the full art one though, I do not. Oh, he's leading the active one! Oh man, if I can get Ho in the discard pile right now, I can't. I need to lead some cards that I can get rid of. So we're going to go for another Remoraid. I'm just going to play... Oh, I can't play Nest Ball. Start dropping energies down onto the second Marshadow. I have to end, which is bad because my opponent is in the best position for this. Yes, I have to end. I need an Ultra Ball and a Ho-Oh. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Alright. This is what we're asking for. Now, I've got nothing going for me on the following turn. Actually, I got artillery going for me now. Yes! Beautiful play. Beautiful play. I forget that Ultra Ball lets me get Pokemon. I want to get out of this bad position. Oh, now I get the Wishful Baton. Either way, I can now go for the Phoenix Burn, which will knock out my opponent's Ho-Oh and put my opponent right back where they were. They just Keyway. There we go. Alright, like I said, Marshadow has a lot of power early. So can Ho-Oh. Now, again, that's exactly what my opponent was trying to do. Keyway into the holo to get as much damage out. We were just faster and had a lot more opportunity to keep our cards flowing. Like, my opponent did get down to one card, had nothing left pretty much, and couldn't play. He was going to be top decking after that. With that being said, we got a little bit more lucky, able to get Marshadow's damage output down, and we were able to make that flow a little better. But as you can see, Marshadow is a one-trick pony in this particular deck. If you can get the Wishful Baton down and get those energies flowing onto the next Marshadow, that's a good way to keep it going. Did not get to showcase that in these two matches, but it does have potential. Let me know in the comments section below what kind of things you are going to be doing with Marshadow. Again, it has a lot of synergy with other decks, has the ability to be really, really strong. Will it be, though? I want to know in the comments what your expectations are. Again, with things like Tapu Lele and Gardevoir, this may not be the best build because you're literally just building up the damage for your opponent, but we're going to see how it goes. Anyway, that is going to be it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are brand new here, please hit the subscribe button because it does mean the world to me that you guys come out and watch the videos on the regular. But that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. But until then, time out.